This video, I'm so excited to show you guys how to make the simplest, the easiest, the quickest, the most adorable-est stuffed ticking pumpkins using rubber bands and hot glue. There's absolutely no sewing whatsoever for this. There is a teeny bit of sewing for the acorns, which I'll show you in a separate video. So for today, I'm going to show you how you can use your choice of colored ticking fabric, some polyfill, some of these little, these little wood pieces from Dollar Tree, maybe a little twine, and you can make some super cute pumpkins in any size. So I'm going to show you all of that start to finish. I'm going to give you the dimensions and everything. As you're hopping on, say hello. I'd love to know who's watching. If you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. If you have friends that are starting to do fall crafts or that like to make this kind of thing, feel free to sprinkle, 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 all that normal stuff. So, okay, so let's start. All right, the first thing you're gonna need is some of this ticking in your choice of color. I got mine at Walmart. I know you can purchase it other places. I know you can also get it in slightly different patterns, but I have used this navy blue and cream, and I have also used this sort of tan caramely color and cream, and I love both of those. So that's what you're gonna need, and then you're going to rip to the size that you want, which I'll show you that in just a second. And the dimensions really are probably the most important thing. Let's put these guys right here. So to make a pumpkin, you want your piece of ticking, which I've already ripped this, to be, this is 14 inches, and so this length is 28. So your shorter dimension needs to be doubled for the length. For example, this one I made using 10 inches in the short and 20 inches in the long. I can't remember what I did for this because I wasn't measuring, but I did double the short side to figure out how long to go. So let me show you how you're gonna do it. All right, the first thing you are gonna do, you're gonna have strings everywhere. You're going to put your fabric so that it's wrong side out, all right? And then you choose either end, it really doesn't matter. And you're just gonna start sort of gathering it in your hand. You can do really small gathers or big gathers. I've experimented doing this, you know, various different ways. How I gathered it, I don't think it makes any difference. But the gathers are what gives your pumpkin this sweet look right here. And we're not doing our gathering with the sewing needle. We're gonna do it with a rubber band. Okay. Once I get this kind of all gathered, then I'll try to spread it out so that they're roughly all the same length. The other method of making these fabric pumpkins that I've done is very similar, but you have to sew and then cinch everything up. And I tell you what, it is just so much quicker and so much easier to use a rubber band. You do want rubber bands though that are gonna be pretty thick and strong, which I'm about out of the good ones. Here's a really good one, for example. So I'm just gonna put it around my gathers and go around it a few times. You want this to be really good and tight. Okay. So I've got it on. You see that? And now I'm just gonna look and see, are there any areas where it's a lot longer or where it's about to fall out, and that looks good. All right, now let's do the other side. Same deal. You're still wrong side out. We're just gathering these. So we're going to do the whole pumpkin. I'm going to show you how to close it up, and then we're going to talk about how to decorate the top. I just instinctively did something with this same ticking fabric that I don't know if you'll like it or not, but I think it's adorable. So I'll show you how to do that. Then we can talk about what other embellishments you can put on the top of your fabric pumpkins. Ooh, my hand is getting tired because this fabric is pretty stiff. Initially, I was thinking, oh, I wonder if my son's orthodontic rubber band elastics, you know, for his retainer, if those would work, but I think they're way too small and also not nearly strong enough. Okay, mix this one little piece. All right, this is the other side. Okay, so you've got it wrong side out. Now you're just going to gently turn it so that this is going to come inside of your pumpkin. And you're going to kind of pull it out into somewhat of a circle shape. I'll show you. Can you see how I'm starting to get a circle shape? Okay, then the next thing is the stuffing. And you can use absolutely whatever you want for this. I'm just using this pretty inexpensive polyfill from Walmart, Ultra Plush. And also you can stuff your pumpkins as full or not as you want. I suppose you could put a roll of toilet paper in here. I've had some people ask me that. I did make toilet paper pumpkins last year and the year before. And on a separate video, I'll show you how to do that in case you don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm just putting my fill in and I'm gonna kind of push it up to spread out some of these little gathers. You're gonna be surprised how much these take. They really do take a lot. I had several of you guys tell me that you guys just, instead of buying the polyfill at Walmart, that you guys buy inexpensive $3 or $4 pillows there and use that. You could certainly do that too. It's just all what you want to do. This is what I have handy, so this is what I'm using. You know, a few times when I've not had any polyfill or pillows on hand, I've crumpled up plastic bags, like what you get when you go to Target or whatever, Walmart, and I've used those inside. So if you don't have any polyfill, but you do have bags, you could do that. All right, so now I'm gonna just try to get some of my polyfill to go up into the little folds. And I'm gonna say that this is probably enough, I think. Let's do one more. We can fiddle around with that once we have it all full. Okay, so here's the part we gathered, and we're just gonna be tucking that inside. And this fabric is stiffer. Ooh, and it's wanting to pull out. Shoot. Let's do that. We might have to do this side again with a thicker rubber band. I can fix this quickly. Let's take out some of this fluff. This is going to be the struggle that you'll have with it, is that it's going to want to pull out in little different areas. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, shoot. Okay, I'm gonna have to start at the beginning because I have to turn it wrong side out. I forgot. All right, this will just take a second. I'm just gonna gather all of this. Now that it's already crumpled, it's a little bit easier to do. I may just have not had that rubber band on good enough. So they don't need to be huge, your rubber bands, but they do need to be super strong. All right, let's try this again. Get in there. Possibly I had my pumpkin too full. I don't know. No, it wasn't too full. How much fabric do you use? Okay, well, I bought 3 yards and I still have tons left. But this particular pumpkin that I'm using right now is 14 inches wide and 28 inches long. So whenever you make a pumpkin using this method, you're just gonna take the width and double it for the length. So if you, I mean, it really depends on how big you want to make them. This one was 10 inches wide and 20 inches long. Okay, let's go for it with this size. Okay, then what you need to do is get one part of it to kind of go over the top of the other side. You're tucking it in. And if you can get the lines straight like this, that's good, but if not, don't worry about it. Okay, so I'm gonna start right here. And I need some more glue, of course. So I just started with the center spot, and you're just going to put some glue to glue these layers together. So I'm basically tucking it inside, pushing it down. This is so much easier and quicker than the sewing way. It really is. And it looks, I think it looks just as good. Okay, now I'm gonna work to get my little rubber band poked in good. And I'm gonna glue this closed right here. Let's do the same here. Although on one side or the other, whichever one you decide to be the top, it really doesn't matter if you can still see the rubber band because we're gonna cover it up. Okay, so then I would just fiddle around with this to get it the size that I want. And you can see how this method creates these little folds, which I think are what gives it so much charm. All right. Okay, the next thing is the stem, and I've done them 2 different ways. And honestly, there's so many choices. I'm using these little wood pieces that look like an aspen tree or something that were from Dollar Tree. They've all come out of the bag. They're called wood stems. These are lighter colored and thicker. I also have this set from Dollar Tree that is longer and skinnier and darker. But if you didn't have that, I don't have any out right now, you could also use a champagne cork, a wine cork. You could get a stick from your yard. There's lots of different things that you could do. So this is a bigger pumpkin, so I want a bigger piece. And I think this one's good right here. So what do you guys think so far? Do you like the idea of how easy this is? I mean, seriously, it is so easy. And I love the idea that you can make small ones. Like if you want just a bunch of bowl fillers, you could make them maybe 6 or 8 inches wide and 12 or 16 inches long, and they'd be smaller than this one. So I'm going to show you how to do this, and I'm going to show you how to do this. I do want you to notice that on these tan ones, I used some of these burlap leaves that I picked up at Dollar Tree last year, and I didn't use the jute or whatever this cording stuff is. I just used a fall leaf, and then this little thing, which I'll show you in just a second. So it's up to you what look you like better. I think that this adds a lot, so I want to show you how to do that. And also, I've had a lot of questions from you guys about how to get a like if you want a curly stem. Okay, Dollar Tree also has this wired jute cord that you can roll along a pencil to twirl it up, and you could put this on your stem. But what I have found is that it doesn't want to stay on the wire. It kind of wants to come off. And I had to put tape on the ends of it. So I ended up deciding that that was not a very good option. Okay, if you've made stuffed fabric pumpkins ever before, tell me in the comments. So I know who are our brand new newbies to doing this idea and who has done it before. You're gonna make some. Christy, it's so easy. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a little bit of hot glue on my little stem that's gonna go right into the pumpkin. And I'm just adding a piece of jute. This may not be long enough. We can use this other piece if we need to also. And then I'm just gonna put some more glue on here because we're just gonna do these kind of little, they look almost like daisies, just these little loops. And I'm pushing it into the glue. I am using my Surebonder Cool Shot low temperature glue gun. You don't want to do this part, I mean, I've got it all over my fingers, with a high temperature glue gun because it's gonna burn you. I'll pick this up in just a second and show you what I've got here. You can do this, you know, as many of these loops as you want, as big as appeals to you. It's totally personal preference, or not do it at all. I think it adds something for sure. Okay, here's the start of what I've got. Can you see? I just glued it on the end of my little, this is going to be my pumpkin, the little handle or what, stem. Okay, so I did these loops, and then with this one, I just did a few pieces of not loops, just straight and different lengths. And this is all going to be glued into the pumpkin, so you won't see any of this mess. I'm going to hold this up in just a second. Okay, I can't remember how many I did on the other one, but this is 3 pieces of jute, just straight. Looks like an octopus or something, okay? This is what the top of it looks like. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to, decide which one I want this side to be the top. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this over the top of where that stem is, the rubber band is, that's poking out just a little bit. Just going to put a whole bunch of glue on here and some right here. We're going to have glue strings for days and days and days and days. And I think that's on just fine. Okay, now I'm going to decide which side do I want to have my front be my front. And I probably don't want the seam to be the front, so we're going to make this little fringy business. You could do another color of fabric. You could do just some plain duck cloth. You could do some more of this blue. I'll show you the couple different ways that you can do that. It's totally up to you. And I like to make them all different lengths, and then I like to clip the ends of them at an angle. Okay, so I have this piece here, and I'm just going to take a little snip and tear. This is what's so fun about working with canvas duck cloth, drop cloth, ticking. That's just so satisfying to tear that and pull the strings off. Okay, so obviously this is way too long. Let me push this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing here. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some pieces. First of all, I'm gonna cut this. And we're gonna start a little stack that we're gonna glue together, kind of like an X almost. All right, can you see that right there? Either way, if you're watching on Facebook and these comments right here are in your way, you should be able to swipe them either to the left or right or up or down, either with your finger or with your mouse, depending on what device you're on. Okay, I'm gonna put just a little teeny blob of glue on here, just so these two are connected. And then I'll do a short one. Well, it turns out it's about the same length. And okay, let's tear some going the other direction. So let me see if my other piece is longer. This is better. So that we have some with the stripes going the opposite direction. You could also, if you're a bling kind of person, you could add some bling to it as well. Lots of options. Okay, I'm going to cut the ends of this to that little point. Get the strings off. What do you guys think? Do you like this idea? I think putting these look like the little viney things to me. That's what they're, supposed to be looking like. So I've got stripes going 2 different directions, and I'm just gonna put a little glue on there. And you can put as many on as you want or not. It's up to you. So here's my little pile. And then I have this one last piece right here that I'm just gonna glue over the top and tie a knot in the back, and then we'll add it to all the little tassel-y things. Okay, so this is what you're gonna have. And this is just my own thing. I haven't seen any tutorials or anything to do what I'm showing you right here. So if you don't like it, feel free to not do it. I just felt like it added a lot. So I just tied it in a knot on the back, and then this is what you get. And we're gonna, you know what, I'm gonna do what I said I didn't wanna do. I'm gonna make this right here the front, just because it's the way the pumpkin wants to sit. So I don't think it matters. So I'm gonna move my little jute cording out of the way. Just sticking this in there. And this is what you get. What do you think? Is that cute or what? And so easy. Let's think about what do we have involved here. Put this back over here. Okay, so they all have a stem, and then I'm using this blue and white ticking, as well as the tan. Well, they're cream. Tan and cream and blue and cream ticking. So you need your fabric, and it could be whatever you want. You could do this exact same technique with, you know, whatever fabric, colors, or styles goes with your decor, or if you have a theme for fall, how you want to do it. I'm probably going to be doing some blue and cream, just to do something different this year as my fall, one of my fall color themes, okay? Then you're going to need the little top and some of this jute cording if you want to do that. Then you're going to need your polyfill or the inside of a pillow or some scrunched up bags, rubber bands, and hot glue, and that's it. And my guess is that each one of these pumpkins here cost, what would I even say, just maybe $1 or $2. I mean, they're not expensive at all. So here's the other ones that I made in the tan. And also I was fiddling around trying to figure out how I could use the same idea to make some little baby acorns to go with them. And it was easy. This one has the striped body, and then this right here on the top, it is quilt batting from Walmart. It's the perfect color, and it's just soft looking. I like this one the best. This one, I did the body in just the canvas duck cloth, the plain, and then the little top part of the acorn with the stripe, and then I used the same quilt batting to make the little stem. But I think what I'll do is I'm going to continue working on this idea right here for the acorns. They're not completely exactly how I would want them to be. I'll work on that a little bit more, and then in the next day or two I'll do a whole nother video on how to do that. So tell me guys what you think. Do you like this way to make pumpkins just using rubber bands and hot glue? I think it's so much easier than trying to gather your fabric with a needle and thread, or doing a running or basting stitch on your sewing machine. To do that, I think it's just as easy, if not 10 times easier, to gather it all up and use a rubber band and then just glue the sides shut. So I want to know what you guys think. Well, hey, Spring, welcome. She says it's her first time watching live. I'm so glad. Hi, Glenda. Hey, Linda. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Callie. There's lots of you guys on. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to call these, what did I decide to call them? Rubber band pumpkins or something like that. Rubber band and hot glue fabric pumpkins. And I will hop off in just a second and answer questions if anyone has them. If you haven't already done a this, it's a heart, or a this, and you want to, you can do that now so that your odds with Facebook will improve, that you'll see the next projects that I have coming up. You can take a look to see if you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming, and if you've set all your notifications. If you want to get on my text list, I'll share the number in the comments and in a separate post. You can send a text to my number, and that way, before I go live, I'll give you a little text warning each time. What else? If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to subscribe to my channel and be on the lookout for some projects that I'll be doing. Oh, I want to show you my leaves. That I'll be doing using these new stencils that I just got from Magnolia in blue. I'm going to be doing some blue projects. Also this one, God, is good. I was fiddling around for just a few minutes with the Fall Fantasy leaves, and I made this. So my thought is either to stuff it, to cut it out and stuff it and add it to one of the pumpkins, or just to do some fall leaves, just as little sit-abouts. But they're still drying, so, and I have still some more experimenting to do before that idea is all ready to go. All right. I'm gonna let you guys, if you want to take a screenshot, and I will get pictures though of everything, and I will put them here in the comments, as well as just at DIY Dreaming. I think you can see, for the most part, everything. Let me know what questions you have. And if you like this, thank you so much for all the stars also, by the way. I appreciate that. We'll do these little acorns in the next couple of days once I get that all resolved, and we'll do the leaves. The leaves thing that I was talking about was this stencil set right here. So we'll do something with that too. And it's just going to be the absolute cutest little vignette of stuffed fabric pumpkins ever. Almost everything came from Walmart. I'm getting some questions. The ticking came from Walmart fabric department. The polyfill came from Walmart. My quilt batting, even that I used on the top of the acorns, came from Walmart. These little slice thingies did come from Dollar Tree, and I believe these fall leaves came last year or the year before from Dollar Tree. But everything is super, super affordable and super quick to put together. Okay, one more question about the how to cut your fabric. Okay, your width of your fabric, whether that's 10 inches, which is what this one was. This one might have been 8. I can't remember for sure. or 12 or 14. Whatever your width is, you want to double it for your length, so that the length of your pumpkin so it will have all these cinches, these areas where it's puckered. So if you did a great big one that was 20 inches wide, then you would want to double that and have your length be 40 inches. Okay, Janice, I think I just answered that question. You guys are so nice to me. Check out your Walmart. If your Walmart does not have a fabric department, then look at Hobby Lobby, Joann's. You can even buy fabrics online. Alrighty, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day.